Saudi Arabia opens airspace to all carriers ahead of President Biden's visit today, and analysts expect the kingdom to commit a token oil boost. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramya Faraj. Saudi Arabia is lifting restrictions on all carriers using its airspace, an apparent gesture of some openness towards Israel ahead of President Biden's arrival today. Biden commended the decision and welcomed it as historic. The Saudi Civil Aviation Authority says the decision was made to complement the kingdom's efforts aimed at consolidating its position as a global hub connecting 3 continents. The U.S. says this decision is the result of President Biden's persistent diplomacy with Saudi over many months, culminating in his visit today. During meetings later today with Saudi Arabia's King Salman bin Abdulaziz and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Biden will discuss energy supplies. Analysts expect Saudi will agree to raise oil output by some degree during the talks. President Biden is meeting Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas in the occupied West Bank today, with talks focusing on economic measures. Bethlehem marks the latest stop on Biden's Middle East tour, following meetings with Israeli officials and ahead of his visit to Saudi. U.S. officials say the delegation will make some significant announcements that enhance Palestinian economic opportunities. They'll also unveil plans to roll out infrastructure for faster 4G internet across Gaza and the West Bank. At the G20 meeting in Indonesia today, the consensus is that a failure to tackle the energy and food crisis will be catastrophic. At the 2-day meeting of top global finance figures, the Ukraine war is topping the agenda. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is expected to press G20 allies for a price cap on Russian oil to pressure Moscow to end its invasion while bringing down energy costs. Both the Russian and Ukrainian finance ministers are participating virtually in the meeting. China has logged its slowest economic growth since the initial COVID outbreak, expanding just 0.4% in Q2 on the back of COVID lockdowns and property market weakness. GDP for April to June was also down 2.6% compared with the previous quarter. Shanghai's economy specifically shrank 13.7% in Q2 year-on-year. The slowdown comes after Shanghai was sealed off for 2 months, tangling supply chains and forcing factories to halt operations. JP Chase saw a drop in Q2 profits at $8.6 billion, down 28% year-on-year in results that missed analysts' expectations. Revenues were $30.7 billion, up 1%. JP says it set aside funds to cover potential bad loans. It says American households are still relatively well off in terms of savings, a strong job market, and robust consumer spending. But it says headwinds like high inflation and interest rates are very likely to have a negative impact on the global economy. And Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller has signaled he may support a full percentage point interest rate hike this month, the biggest increase in more than 30 years. The Fed in March began aggressively raising borrowing costs to try to cool demand amid the impact of the Ukraine war, but data so far hasn't shown significant signs of easing. Instead, consumer prices surged 9.1% last month. Closer to home, UAE-based food and beverage group Agthia is taking a 60% stake in Egyptian snacks and coffee manufacturer Auf Group. Agthia will execute the deal, valued at $154.66 million, through its subsidiary Synergy Holdco. The founders of Auf Group will retain a 30% stake, and Egyptian private equity firm Tenmia Capital Ventures will keep its 10% stake. Agthia aims to establish itself in the healthy snacks business. Last year, it acquired healthy snacks and food maker B&B Group, an Al-Fouah dates business. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund is reportedly investing $236.5 million in luxury car manufacturer Aston Martin. The deal will grant the fund a holding of slightly less than 20% and a seat on Aston Martin's board. The car maker will also launch a rights issue for investors worth at least $354.7 million. The fresh funds will help pay the company's debt and turn it cash positive, brushing away investors' concerns about the business's financial health. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.